imperfections in your swing.
Go ahead, Bill. Take a swing. Keep your head down and remember to focus. Bill, you didn't pay attention to anything we said. Try it again. Bill, we can do this all day. You really have to focus and keep your head down.
The Don No Deal Golf Pro works with you to make you the best golfer possible. Our trained golf pros won't give up till you're the best or your heart stops. The Don No Deal Golf Pro, exactly what you need to beat Tiger Woods or you'll die trying. Order yours today, and for a limited time only, get your special Don No Deal Golf Club socks. Hurry, order yours today. Not available in any store.
Warning. The following show contains language some may find offensive. So if you're offended by words like bitch, slut, fuck, shit, piss, cunt, and whore, just remember, we live in America. You don't have to listen to this show. You have been warned.
same appreciation of the right now, it is kicking ass in America. Yeah! Nothing falls into place now. Only this fracture slip through off your face. The more things you get, the more you want. Just take one for the other. Work this hard, make it easy. Wow, got some time. Come on, turn this thing around. Hey, show tomorrow. Come on, this ain't everything. Get your magic on. Let's go here and now. It means everything. It's in line right now. What are you waiting for? Turn this thing let's go right now. This is what's happening right here and now. Right now. Right now. What are you waiting for? Turn this thing around. Turn this thing around. Tomorrow's too far away. What are you waiting for? Turn this thing around. Turn around. Turn this thing around. Right now, Turn this thing around. 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 Turn around. Right now.
It's time for a man who needs no introduction.
Really?
A man who's done more for radio than the radio itself.
That's a big accomplishment.
A man who is so mysterious that he doesn't even know where he lives.
Oh, hold on. You didn't know?
Who is this man, you ask? If you must know,
He's Plankman. Wow. I'm out of here, dude. He's Plankman.
a man who knows just what you need.
Asian hooker. He's Plankman. I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it. He's Plankman. That's insane. No, he's still alive. He's Plankman. No, wait a minute. He's Plankman. I can tell you right now it's not happening.
And now, without further ado, the smallest man in show business.
I would just like to say go fuck yourself.
The master of the microphone.
I think I know who that.
It is time for the Plankman Show on tapdetroit.com.
Either way, love or fucking, one of them is about to happen. I do not know about all of that. And look, it's not working. So we'll pretend like we're going to fix something and then just hit the button and mysteriously it works. Oh my God. How did that happen? Stupid Sam broadcaster. What the fuck? Come on, kick on. You can do it. There you are. Oh, hey. Stupid Sam broadcaster. I swear to God, you got to like turn the mic off and then turn the mic back on and then it mysteriously works. I didn't change any settings or nothing. But that's typical. That's how the show should normally start, right? There's always a problem. Anyways, it is the Plankman Show, tapdetroit.com. I am that guy, and if you're on the YouTube, which I don't know if anybody is or not, but you can see me right there. And if you look behind me, there's nobody there. Ted is on assignment in Brazil. That's right. I sent him to Brazil to do some research. Anyways, am I the only one that wants 2020 over with? It totally sucks. So, you know, CJ kind of broke the news to me, what was it, a couple of days ago here now, that Eddie Van Halen had passed, and I mean, kind of a cruel joke to play on a guy, but obviously CJ wasn't joking. It was real, and kind of hard to like wrap your head around it, like Eddie Van Halen, like, man, he's only 65 years old, like, but I guess the throat cancer got the best of him, and it really sucks. So I said, well, let's just do an entire show of frickin' Van Halen. Play all our favorite Van Halen songs, or, I mean, I can't even name a bad Van Halen song. I can't think of one, so kind of flying solo, but said, you know what? We'll bring CJ on, and he's got a top 10 list of, his favorite 10 favorite Van Halen songs or something like that. And I've been busy with work, so I couldn't put together a top 10 list, but I can tell you this. I think most of it would be just one album in particular. So be kind of tough for me to pick 10 songs, but yeah, we'll have some fun. We'll play some Van Halen music. If you got any cool memories or whatever, you can share it on the Facebook page or in the chat room. We actually have a chat room again. Thanks to our pal Odd for doing that. And you can go in the chat room and you can chat like it's like 1992 or something. I don't know. like whenever the chat room started. And you can do that, or you can go on our YouTube page. There's a section there where you can, interact with us. And I mean me, because Ted's not here. I keep forgetting he's not here. And what else? Well, basically, we're just going to stick to Van Halen tonight. I'm debating on whether I want to throw in some regular music. I don't know. I think we can do a whole 2-hour show on nothing but Van Halen. I think that's pretty easy, right? So, I played right now the live version because I've got that CD, and man, what a great freaking CD. And God, man, there's some great music on there. Great music out of that band, man. I don't think it mattered who was singing. I think we can throw that out the window now. It didn't matter who was singing. It's just a goddamn great band, man. like that's all there is to it. Let's see. What do I want to get us started off with? It's a good question, ain't it? Let's go back to the folder here and see what I got that I can throw in here. Because I think there's going to be a lot of music and a lot less talking tonight, because I don't really know what to say, man. It's like I've got no words of wisdom or anything like that. I didn't know the man. Start there. Didn't know the man. Saw Van Halen at the Palace of Auburn Hills. I believe it was the Right Now tour. I believe so. The one that I just played Right Now from. And I got to admit, what a freaking show. Oh my God, they put on a hell of a show. The entire band is just freaking great, and really sucks we won't get to hear any more great music from them, but I guess we've still got, we've still got the music that was recorded, right? And we can listen to that and have a good time. So let's see. Let's get started off with here's something from back in the day. And I wanted another one. Where was it? Oh, crap. I can't remember. Can't remember where it was. Freaking one of my favorite songs too, and I can't remember where it is. Oh, that's great. Dang it, I really can't find it. There it is. I knew I would find it eventually. Let's take a look here and see where we're at. Play that one, play that one. Oh, excuse me. Oh. One more. Let's throw one more in. Yeah, let's throw that one in. That's a damn good one, too. We'll throw 3 in, and then I think after these 3, we'll get CJ on here, and we'll dive into his list and I guess do a little more reminiscing about Van Halen and talking about some good times we had. Because I'm pretty sure all of us had some really good times either listening to Van Halen or, going to see Van Halen live or whatever, and it was pretty cool. Thank God I was alive in an era where there was a band called Van Halen. So I can't imagine what it would have been like. It would have sucked. So here's 3 from Van Halen, and we'll come back and me and CJ will dive into some stuff, do a little chit-chatting about Van Halen, and I believe he's got 3 special songs he wants us to play. So we'll find out a little bit about that. So stick around. We've still got plenty of show to do here on the Plankman Show on tapdetroit.com.
teacher. I got it bad, so bad. I'm a teacher. Oh man, everybody's so out of filter. I'm a teacher. Oh my God! I get up and nothing gets me down. You got it tough. I've seen the toughest around, and I know, baby, just how you feel. You got to roll with the punches and get the what's real. Can't you see this man here? I got my back against the wrecking machine. I ain't the worst that you see. Can't you see what I mean? Might as well jump, jump. Might as well jump. Go ahead and jump, jump. Go ahead and jump. Oh, you, who said that? Baby, how you been? You say you don't know, you won't know until you begin. Can't you see me standing here? I got my back against the wrecking machine. I ain't the worst that you see. Can't you see what I mean? Well, jump, jump. Go ahead and jump. Might as well jump, jump. Go ahead and jump. Jump.
Yeah, we're running a little bit hot tonight. I can barely see the road from the heat coming up. Reach down between my legs, ease the seat back. She's running, I'm dying, right behind you. But I was thinking, busy driving me, don't stop me now.
I'm Dan, the Superfan, and you're listening to The Planky Show on TapDetroit.com.
Dan doesn't lie. That's a true story. Let's see if I can dial up CJ here. And let's get this craziness going, huh?
Greetings, bitches.
I was just thinking, I need some cool like dialing music for when we're calling you. Like I need something like dun dun dun. Whoa, what happened?
I don't know. What happened?
I got some strange noises going on.
Wasn't me.
Holy cow, that sounds like shit. The hell is going on? Okay, it went away. That was weird. Man, who the hell's haunting this show?
Oh.
It has never done that when I've hooked the phone up to talk to you till today. And what are we talking about? Eddie Van Halen. Did Eddie Van Halen just haunt my phone? Oh my God, I said Eddie Van Halen, it did it. No, I think I know what's going on. I think I know what's going on.
The user error?
Well, I'm charging the phone up and it's plugged into the computer, and obviously the board is plugged into the computer, so I think both of them's causing a little feedback. So if everybody heard all that noise, I apologize. We are not haunted by Eddie Van Halen. I'd just like to clear that up too.
If we are, could be haunted by worse, I guess.
Yeah, it could be worse. I can think of worse people I'd want to be haunted by.
Oh. Hey, don't mind me. I'm over here trying not to crack up laughing because, you know, the debate last night, the fly landed on Pence's head, and people are like, you know, absolutely savage memes from it and shit. So
Yeah. Yeah, this shit with Eddie Van Halen, man, is just like,
dude. Like I said, man, like I was downstairs, like I was putting food in the oven for the kids, and she came downstairs and she told me, and yeah, it was just immediately. I was like, "Yo, don't be bullshitting like that. That's not funny."
yeah.
I thought she was fucking with me or something, and and she was like, "No, I'm not joking." And I'm like, I just kind of looked at her like, like I was like, "You're fucking lying. Like Eddie did not die." And then I grabbed my phone and I looked it up and TMZ and was like, I was like, oh shit. I was like, dude, my Facebook is gonna go fucking nuts, man. Like,
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I'm sure it did.
Dude, really, how can it not? I mean, I'm not an Eddie Van Halen fangirl, so to speak.
Yeah.
In the sense of, I'm not one of these, oh, Eddie was the greatest guitar player of all time, yada, 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 yada types. But, he was Eddie Van Halen, dude. You didn't have to say Eddie was the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's kind of almost rhetorical. It's kind of like saying Randy Rhoads was the greatest of all time, or, Stevie Ray Vaughan was the greatest of all time. It was just one of those things where, okay, you make the statement and you don't debate it, because there's no debating it.
Yeah.
Whether you like the man or not isn't even a part of the conversation, because, I'm not a big Hendrix fan, but I wouldn't dare ever say that Hendrix didn't innovate the guitar, that he wasn't one of the true innovators of rock guitar, and that, a lot of rock music wouldn't be where it is or exists today without Hendrix's influence.
Yeah, who the hell does that, man? Who the hell takes a right-handed guitar, flips it upside down, restrings it, and learns how to play it because he's left-handed?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can't, because I'm left-handed too, and that's why I never played guitar, because I couldn't afford a left-handed guitar, and I'm like, well, I'm not smart enough to restring the damn thing and try to figure it out, like.
I mean, that's the thing, dude. Like I said, it's not an argument of whether or not, or it's not an argument of who Eddie was. Whether you were a rock fan or not a rock fan, whether you were a fan of Van Halen or not, it's not even something that can be argued. And even, being, I'm a Van Halen fan, but not, I guess, a fanboy. The way I am, say, Pink Floyd or Blue October or somebody like that.
Yeah.
But, going back, re-listening to make this list, obviously a massive catalog of amazing songs. In the songs that everybody knows, everybody's gonna know, Jamie's Crying and Atomic Punk and Jump and all of those songs, obviously. But even the songs that, again, most people wouldn't quote unquote consider hits, I guess.
Yeah.
You go back and you listen to them, and it kind of hit me like, God damn, these are really, really good songs, above and beyond what a normal good song would be. I mean, the whole element of the band, it wasn't just Eddie. I mean, Michael's bass playing and the groove that him and Alex had together.
Yeah.
David's very over the top style. The type of style that just you kind of see that. Look, you're just born to be a frontman for a band. There are certain people like that they don't need to play an instrument. They're just born to be at the front to run the show. Again, is there a better example of that than David Lee Roth? I mean, his kicks and the way he moved and the swagger that he had, I mean, truthfully, is there a more prime example of somebody who was born to just completely command the stage, and look at the people now that maybe they're not clones of David Lee Roth, but you can clearly see his influence in them. Jeff Scott Soto, for example, when we seen him with Sons of Apollo,
holy cow.
Tell me that you don't see David Lee Roth all over the way that he performs. I mean, it just,
dude's incredible, man.
But I'm saying, even without trying to act like David Lee Roth, you can see in the way that Jeff performs, the leg kicks, the camaraderie, the sense of humor, the energy, just the way that he commands and controls and leads the stage. You know what I'm saying? Like every member of Sons of Apollo is a superstar.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
But Jeff is what makes that engine go. He's what keeps him on time. He's the one who, he points to, he points to Billy, and then he points to, Ron, and then he points to, and he kind of, it's almost like the football coach, leading them through their paces, or giving them the cue of when to go, he almost call Ron like the running back, and Jeff's the quarterback, and Billy's like the blocker. And, Jeff tells Billy exactly when to break right so that Ron can break left and just go with it. I mean, it's like I don't know, dude. I don't know how to describe it properly, but I mean, like I said, you can see the influence, and not just Jeff, but so many other singers that, you can see David's influence. Eddie is the same way. Obviously, there are the guys that, yes, they copied Eddie and really never tried to develop a style past that. And there's those guys that took what Eddie did and raised the bar. And, Eddie just did what Eddie did. And I think what made Eddie so goddamn unique is, a lot of people, when you talk about Eddie Van Halen, it's, he, innovated the tapping, or he innovated this, or he innovated that, or the solos and all of that. But underneath it all, before any of that took place, his rhythm tracks were phenomenal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many guitar players that they're so hung up. I'm a lead guitarist. I'm a lead guitarist. I'm a lead guitarist. And if you say anything about a rhythm guitar, they take it as an insult. Well, I'm not a rhythm guitarist. I'm a lead guitarist. Okay, cool. But without that rhythm guitar, the lead makes absolutely zero sense. If you don't have, Angus is a great lead guitarist, But if you don't have Malcolm underneath him laying that rhythm down, are those AC/DC songs half as good as they are? No. You know, because sure, I mean, you know the Thunderstruck opening. You know all the AC/DC solos. But as much as you know those solos, you know those rhythms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dan, da-da-dan, 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 da-da-dan. You know, Angus has nothing to do with that. That's Malcolm, dude. Yeah. And that's what made Eddie great is Eddie laid down that rhythm way before he laid down all that flashy finger work and all that other stuff. That's what made Van Halen, I think, so fucking incredible is Eddie didn't need a rhythm guitarist. He didn't, you know, and as much as he could show off, he didn't have to. I mean, there were songs like Dream, songs like Jump, songs like, you know, a lot of the Van Hagar type of stuff where it was much more of a rhythm thing. Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Where it was much more of a rhythm than it was a flashy solo. Yes, there was a flashy solo in it, but listen, Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do, and it has almost that same, not as heavy, but it has almost that same aesthetic that Smoke This Guy from Crew had. It's got that tonal sound from his guitar that is heavy without being heavy, you know.
Yeah.
It's a great riff. So, sure, you know, everyone go, oh, Eruption is what made Eddie famous. Great, cool. It's an incredible solo, you know. But again, Ice Cream Man.
Oh, God, that's a good one.
Yeah. Again, there's no huge solo in that, dude. It's the fucking rhythm that him and Michael together laid down that make it just the groove in it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can call Van Halen whatever you want. You call them a party band, you can call them this or that or whatever. They were the consummate rock and roll band. There were no weak links in that band ever.
No.
Whether it was the original, you know, with Alex and Michael and Eddie and Dave, or when Sammy came in to replace, and then once Michael left, you know, Wolfie took over, or whoever. You know what I'm saying? That band has always been solid, even with Gary. I know people don't like that record.
I think it's a great record. I
listen to that record, much like the Motley Crue one. People are going to shit on it because, oh, it's not Sammy, or it's not Dave, or it's not this, or it's not that. That is a great fucking record. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, I've got it, and I love the damn thing.
Yeah, I love that record. Gary is a great singer. Probably not the greatest fit for Van Halen per se, but for what it is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's a great record. I'm never gonna shit on that record.
No, I think it's a great record, and like Sirius XM satellite radio has created like a Van Halen tribute channel, and they've been playing everything.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter, you know, if it was, you know, with Gary Cherone, they're playing it, and I'm listening to this going, oh my God, I didn't realize that was a Gary song, you know. Like I completely forgot, you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing, dude. Like, going back, like I said, I had forgotten just how good some of the stuff was. Like, you know, obviously everybody knows, everyone knows 5150. You know, everyone knows 1984. You know, those are records that are just, they're mainstays. You know, they're records that had so many huge hits on them that you know, you don't even debate them. But there are songs on like Fair Warning and on Women and Children First that you know, you don't necessarily songs like Take Your Whiskey Home or
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, or you know, songs like Cathedral or even Big Bad Bill is Sweet Willie Now, which is an old jazz standard that Eddie was recorded as a tribute to his dad.
Yeah, that's funny. I heard that one the other day there when they were doing the tribute thing, and I'm like, oh my God, that just sounds so jazzy.
Yeah, because his dad was a jazz musician.
I know, but that's why it's funny, you know, because it's like, what, you know, that's not something you expect from Van Halen, but actually you should.
Right. Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. I'm going back to these and I'm listening to shit like that, like The Full Bug and, you know, just songs like Light Up the Sky and Bottoms Up, that songs you don't really think about as much as you say, you know, Cradle of Rock or Jamie's Crying or Atomic Punk or Jump or Panama, Hot for Teacher. Those are the songs that anybody's going to automatically name for Van Halen.
Oh, yeah.
And great. Those are outstanding Van Halen tunes. But again, much like with the Ozzy thing, when you start going back through the catalog and you start re-listening to some of these, you're kind of like, God damn, I forgot how good some of these tunes really were.
Yeah.
You know, and they've aged so well, man. Like, you listening to the first Van Halen record, you know, if that would have been released 5 years ago, it still would stand up as good or as well as it being from 1978. You know, it's just a great classic record. And I think sometimes we forget that, you know, those older records, man, are just, you know, those records are sometimes are just so far beyond what we remember them being. You know, driving home the other day, we re-listened to the first Boston record.
Oh, wow.
You know? And this is a record that probably more than any other record that I've ever owned, I've replaced this record so many goddamn times that, you know, half of the record sales is probably being low. You know, as a teenager, I played it so much that I would literally just wear the vinyl out. I'd wear the grooves out of the vinyl. You know, and my old man had to replace his Boston record probably 20 times. And he finally walked into my room one day and he threw one at me and he said, "Here, this is yours. Listen to yours. Quit fucking up my Boston record." You know? And, you know, having not heard that record in its entirety in years, it was like, again, it was like a comfortable pair of shoes. As soon as that started playing, man, it was just every song one after the other. You're like, God damn, I forgot how great these songs were, man, you know?
Yeah.
The atmosphere of them and you know, there was something about the production and the style and everything that they did back then to make records that you can't replicate by today's standards. I'm not saying today's music isn't great. I'm not saying that there are not amazing CDs coming up. But again, when you start going back and listening to these things like the first couple Van Halen, some of the early Ozzy, the early stuff by, Y&T and records that were being produced during that era, the Boston, the Doobie Brothers, bands that some of the Bob Seger stuff, the aesthetic to those records is just so insane that you could never replicate or recapture that by today's standards. There's only one modern band that I've heard do it, and even when they did it, they went about it in such a way that no record label would even attempt to do what the Teskey Brothers did. Now, the Teskey Brothers are an Australian band, kind of, I guess, blue-eyed soul blues-ish band from Australia. First time I heard them, I was like, God damn, that's an old 70s record. And, I was like, I thought it was, Beale Street. I thought it was a bunch of black guys from Memphis or down in the Delta or something,
Yeah.
And I looked them up, and it's 4 white dudes from the outback in Australia. And I'm like, hold up. There's no motherfucking way that 4 white boys from Australia are playing this and sounding like this. So I researched them, and there's a video. They went out and they found this old ass studio in Ireland that was closing. And it was a studio that used to record the old blue-eyed soul shit back in the 60s and the 70s. And they bought all of the equipment from the studio that was closing. All of the old reel-to-reel 8-inch or not 8-inch, all the old 2.5-inch, reel-to-reel analog shit and all the harmonizers and the mixers, all that old shit that they used back in the day, right? And they had this shit flown to Australia, and they built a fucking recording studio in their living room that was essentially an old 60s throwback studio, pure analog with the reel-to-reel tape, every fucking thing.
Huh.
And they recorded this record. And dude, I'm not bullshitting you. When you hear this record, you're like, that's some straight out old school Al Green sounding Beale Street shit. You know what I'm saying? This sounds like something B.B. King would have recorded in 1972. And then you see their video. These fuckers look like Nickelback. It's 4 white dudes from the fucking outback. But they're literally the only band that I've ever seen come close. But they went out of their way to do it. They spent $50,000 to buy this equipment in Ireland and have it flown across the world to fucking Australia, and then built the shit in their living room to do it. There's not a fucking record label today that would do that for a band.
Yeah.
We got plugins for that. That would be their exact response. We got plugins for that. But it's not the same.
No.
It's simply not. And I'll challenge anybody who's listening. Look up the Teskey Brothers. Straight up. Listen to their they got 2 records out right now. Listen to their fucking records. And if you can listen to that and not utterly have your mind blown by that sound, it's the craziest shit that I've heard probably in the last decade. but it's old school soul in blues. You know, I mean, it's not anything you're going to hear on rock radio. But you know, again, getting back to Eddie, I didn't mean to get off track, but
Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie, man. I mean, again, you can't recapture that, you know, and you know, like I told you, there's certain people that even as we get older, and obviously we know that, look, our heroes are going to die, you know, because it's inevitable.
Yeah.
There's certain people you just don't picture the world without. You didn't really ever picture it without Lemmy. Because let's face it, nobody thought Lemmy was going to fucking die. You know?
No, Lemmy is God, right?
I mean, everybody, you know, was under the working assumption that after a nuclear bomb hit, it was going to be cockroaches, Keith Richards, and Lemmy Kilmister. And then Lemmy died, and your mortality really takes a hit because you're like, Jesus, if Lemmy can die.
Yeah, right.
You know, Eddie was one. Eddie, you never picture the world without Eddie.
No.
You know, you don't picture the world without Ozzy.
No.
Because they're fucking institutions. You don't picture the world without Keith Richards. Again, I'm not a Stones fan. I'm not a Keith Richards fan.
I'm not either, but somehow he's still alive.
Yeah, you know, but the son of a bitch survived everything other than a direct hit from a nuclear bomb. You know, and I think if I had to, you know, if you say, hey, make a bet on Keith Richards or the nuclear bomb, I'd probably go with Keith Richards. You know, but I don't know, man. It just, Eddie was kind of like Lemmy. You know, you realize that you are mortal and that, you know, we're cursed, I guess, just like our parents were. Of the thing about growing older is you see your heroes die.
Yeah.
Like I said, when John Wayne died, I remember distinctly when John Wayne died. My grandfather was devastated. You know, never seen my grandpa cry. And my grandpa didn't cry, but there was a melancholy around everyone in the house and around all of his friends and everybody when that happened. And John Wayne was just a movie star to me, but, you know, not in the sense of I was a huge fan or I idolized him or that I was really even old enough to understand who John Wayne was.
Yeah.
And for years, it was like, it's just John Wayne, you know, he was just an actor. But then when Freddie died, I remembered that because that was the first time that it really hit home with me of how somebody could affect you in that way.
Yeah.
You know, and I understand even better now of the way my grandfather felt. You know, and again, not just with John Wayne, but then Dean Martin, and then, you know, a line of people, you know, and even as I got older, people that would have been more his generation, but affected me really hard. Don Rickles was one.
Oh, yeah.
When Don Rickles died, I was way more devastated by it than I thought. I didn't even have an inkling that it was going to affect me the way it did. Always loved Don Rickles. You know, one of the funniest men to ever walk the earth. But when Don died, I was just like, holy fuck. I didn't really have any idea that it would affect me the way it did. You know, and I think, Betty White is another one that, you got to respect the shit out of Betty because she's a tough old bitch.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Betty is, goddamn, man, she's made a hell of a career, and when she goes, whew, and that was my first thought when Eddie died. I was like, goddamn, if you thought Lemmy had a huge funeral,
oh man,
wait till you see the one that fucking Eddie has. Because everybody's coming out of the woodwork for Eddie.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it was just, well, cancer wins again, dude. I guess that's about the only way you can really.
It wins every time. It doesn't lose, right?
I don't know if it wins every single time, but
well, I don't know. My uncle beat it once, but he didn't beat it the second time. So,
I think what kills me the most is, I don't know if you want to call it karma, if you want to call it, I don't know, man, but it just seems unfair that people like Lemmy and Eddie die, and you still have little assholes like Tekashi 6ix9ine and people like that running around that are just, boils on the ass of society.
Oh yeah.
Cardi B, for example. Yes, I understand it's Cardi B. Obviously, she probably has her place somewhere in the echelon of music, but come on. She is never going to contribute anything that is even in the same, not even in the same star system as what Eddie contributed.
Well, that's why I like what Jeff Scott Soto posted on his Twitter account today. He said, instead of being sad that Eddie is gone, be happy that you lived in an era where we had Eddie Van Halen.
Right. And that's exactly it. Because I mean, I guess that's kind of what makes me sad in another way is, when I think about my kids, like, goddamn, man, when all of these guys are gone, who are they going to have to idolize over?
Paris Hilton?
But I'm saying, I can't think of one in the music echelon. I can't think of one person who.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't think of one person in the pop or rock or even the metal field who has done something innovative or who has done something to really advance music in that kind of way. Like, who are they going to name?
I don't
know. Because there is nobody, dude. There's just, I can't think of one person that has advanced the music in a way like some of these stars did. And Eddie, going back to Eddie, dude, it wasn't just the music with Eddie. Going deeper than that, look, Eddie was an inventor.
Yeah.
Eddie was an innovator when it comes to the instruments themselves.
Yeah.
No guitar, the Frank, what was it called? Franken guitar was what it was called or something, right?
Yeah, Frankenstein.
Yeah, that guitar wasn't a guitar that anybody had, so he made it the way.
It was 3 different guitars that he built into one.
Exactly.
Because he liked the neck of one, but then he liked, something of the other. I can't. A friend of mine posted a picture of him in the wood shop, putting the guitar together, and I'm like, oh my God, man, you'll never be as cool as Eddie Van Halen building his own guitar.
Well, he built hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Even after that, even in the later years, the last decade or so, the last 15 years, he spent more time building guitars than he did recording music or anything. And then you take into account the 5150 amps and the preheads and everything that he created.
Yeah.
And then the EH series. And then what he did for the wireless pack systems that, Eddie not only advanced the playing of the guitar, but the equipment that went along with it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, Eddie wasn't like Lemmy. Okay, Lemmy was known for fucking being a partier and having this vicious sarcasm and wisdom. But Lemmy pretty much played one bass his entire career. Eddie just on multiple levels did things that no other person had ever done before, and probably ever will.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think anybody's gonna do what he did.
That's why it's crazy, to think that, and you can't say, well, he was only 65. Well, 65 isn't old, but it isn't exactly young.
I don't know. I don't want to think of it as old because it ain't far away from me.
Well, me either.
I would like to think it's young.
I look at it this way. Nobody's promised tomorrow. And I guess if you're 65 and all you've ever done is, work in a shop, or all you've ever done is be an accountant or something, you know what I'm saying? I guess maybe you can say, but goddamn, man, 65 and Eddie, think of the shit that Eddie did, man. Like, Eddie lived a full fucking life.
Yeah.
First off, he was married to Valerie Bertinelli. Look, at that day and time and age, if you made a top 10 list of Hollywood people that the majority of men would have tripped over their dicks to bang, Valerie would have been in the top 3.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So, that in and of itself right there, look, he was married to fucking one of the hottest chicks in Hollywood for 20 plus fucking years. So, that in and of itself, he traveled the world multiple times, created shit, lived the life of a fucking rock star, dude. I mean, it was an age and an era that was completely unique. No musician today, unless they were from that era, is ever going to understand or experience what that was really like. We understand because, look, we were around at that time, and we went to the parties and we went to the concerts, and we got to hang out afterward, and we got to hang out in the parking lots with the tailgate parties and the shit like that. There are no bands today doing what they did back then.
Oh, no. They, that's why, like when I saw like Pantera, Sepultura, and Biohazard at the Palace, Biohazard like just had their bus out in the parking lot, just wide, they were just like chilling, and
Right.
And hell, I got on the bus with them, hung out with them, and they're like, dude, you gonna come back, hang out with us after the show? I'm like, fuck yeah, I am. And I hung out with them after the show. So I watched the show and then went back and hung out with the entire band from Biohazard.
Right. It's like I said, dude, like, name a band today that by today's standards that you would commit multiple federal felonies to ensure that you got to their concert on time.
No.
No. And again, I'm not saying federal felonies were committed. I'm merely saying device may or may not have been placed in a certain Pontiac area high school. And it may or may not have caused the school to have been evacuated over the weekend. But, you know, people have said in the past, well, why would you go to such extreme things? Well, we had a show to get to. It was an 8.5-hour show. We needed time to get from Pontiac, or to get from the Walled Lake area over to the Silverdome. We had to get in line and ensure that we were through the line and in place when the concert started. And, you know, anybody who had ever attended a Pontiac Silverdome show knows that wasn't exactly a process that happened in 5 minutes. So we wanted to make goddamn sure that we were there in plenty of time, you know? So,
oh yeah.
You know, so yeah, and, we, you know, we decided that a mixture of sulfur and formaldehyde would not only clear a room, it would pretty much clear a morgue. And we especially discovered that when you placed it in a bathroom and flushed multiple toilets, that it went through the entire school. It went down the drains and it went through every sink and every, you know, all the science labs that had sinks in it got a dose of it, and the nurse's station in the office that had sinks got a dose of it. And I don't know if you've ever smelled what sulfur and formaldehyde smell like individually, but when you mix them together, it basically smells like somebody took a dead body, smothered it in rotten eggs, and then set it on fire. So, yeah. Everything was evacuated, and yeah, we attended our show. But, you know, there's no bands today, dude, that you would do that for, you know. But that was a special show. That was Monsters of Rock, you know. Van Halen, Scorpions, Metallica, Dokken, and Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
You know, that was a once-in-a-lifetime show, even by standards back then.
Yeah.
When it was common to have big shows like that, that was a show that you were like, holy fuck, dude. You know, Scorpions, Van Halen, and Metallica in one show. Holy fuck, bro. You know, that was a massive show.
Yeah.
And then you add Dokken and Kingdom Come to the mix. You know, it was the same when they did the Clash of the Titans tour. That was another show that I didn't, you know, commit any crime to get to it, but I made goddamn sure that I did whatever it took to get tickets to it, because I wasn't going to miss that show. You know, oh, well, you know, a lot of my friends are like, I don't see the big deal of that show. Megadeth, Slayer, Testament, Suicidal Tendencies in one show. I don't see the big deal of it. Son, I'm going to that goddamn show if I got a belly crawl across the state. Okay? That's not a show you miss.
Yeah.
Can you see those bands together in combinations? Probably. Can you see all 5 of them at one fucking time on one fucking night? Probably never again.
No.
You know, oh, the big 4. Oh yeah, the big 4. You know, but that was 15 years later, and it was in big, massive stadiums.
Yeah.
Clash of the Titans was in places like, we seen them at Club Eastbrook in Grand Rapids, which essentially is, not much bigger than the Token.
Wow.
So imagine seeing those 5 bands in a room that, it's a mid-sized room, probably similar to the Music Factory or the Token or, somewhere around that size. Maybe a hair bigger, but not much.
Yeah.
Seeing any one of those bands in a venue that small is amazing. Seeing 5 of them in one night, oh, dude, it was one of the most intense things I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's like when I went over to the Music Factory to see Devil Driver. I went, that show, again, I went for the pure comedy value of it because I knew who Devil Driver was. And the second they said, "Oh, Devil Driver at the Music Factory," I was like, somebody's never heard Devil Driver. Because who in their right goddamn mind would put Devil Driver in that small of a venue? Now, you've seen how big it was with Sons of Apollo.
Oh, yeah.
And you've heard Devil Driver. Now imagine how loud that place was with Devil Driver on that stage playing that.
Huh.
And there was about twice as many people in there for that Devil Driver show. And then the bouncer's going to make fun of me. Well, why are you standing all the way back by the door? Because when this motherfucker goes up, I want to be the first one out the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, how do you know it's going to go up? Oh, it's not a question of if it's going to go up. It's a question of when. Like, look, if I leave this motherfucker tonight and this place is still standing, I will consider it luck of the Irish. Let's put it that way. But so anywho, I sent those 3 songs. I want to get into those because the other songs you can play any of my top 10. Really, here or there. The only one of my top 10 that I absolutely positively want you to play is the number 1. If you look at my list, obviously it's going to have the songs that people know. It's going to have a few that people don't. But my number 1 Van Halen song always has been and always will be the song Sinner Swing.
Yeah.
There's something about that song that I just fucking love. There is a swagger to that song that long before they did the big giant songs, that was one of the early ones that had that, just not swagger from Eddie, but from Michael and from Alex, and it had that, that big hot for teacher Panama type of swagger to it. That's my number 1. But the 3 that I said,
yeah,
over the years, there's always the occasional song that you'll be like, "Oh man, that's a great Van Halen song," and then you're like, "Oh wait, that's not Van Halen." Of all of those songs over the years, there's 3 of them that have stood out to me more than any, of songs that these are the greatest Van Halen songs that Van Halen never recorded. Now some people take that as an insult, some take it as a joke. I take it as, in this particular case, these are 3 songs that I know weren't done to rip off Eddie or Van Halen. They were done by 3 people that idolized them, and they were done strictly out of pure respect.
Yeah.
The number 3 is a band called DC4. They're out of Las Vegas. If you remember the name Rowan Robertson, the young little hot shot that played with BL for the Lock Up the Wolves record. He is all grown up, and he is actually the guitar player for DC4. And on their newest record that came out 2 years ago, called Atomic Highway, there was a song on there called Dominique. And not just the guitar riff, but pretty much the entire song just has early Van Halen written all over it. Like even the vocals are, pretty straight on David Lee Roth style vocals. So that's going to be the number 3. Number 2, you're probably going to remember the band Roxy Blue.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. They did a record called Want Some back, I think, 91-ish. There were 2 songs on there. One sounded very much like Panama. But the main one, there's a song called Rock the Cradle. Everything about this song, including the guitar intro to it, just screamed Hot for Teacher.
Wow.
Just a massive killer song. The number 1, it's almost cheating. But when David Lee Roth went solo, when he did the Little Ain't Enough record.
Oh yeah.
He had Jason Becker as guitar player. Now, there are a number of songs on that record that are, big, massive killer cuts. But I think the best of the best, there's a song on there called It's Showtime. And Jason Becker, he just straight channeled Eddie in every imaginable way on this song, man. The groove, the technique, David singing on it. You could take this song, and if you didn't know it was a David Lee Roth solo record or solo song, you would swear to God that this was off of one of the first 2 Van Halen records.
Yeah.
Just a phenomenal. And the first time I heard the song, I was like, holy shit, that is such a massive song. And, I may or may not have blown multiple pairs of speakers playing that one incredibly loud. Because, again, it's one of those songs that, how can you listen to this song and not fucking love it? And even Eddie said later, people have asked him about it, and he has said that how much he loved Jason and how much he loved Jason's playing. And even Eddie said that of all the songs that he heard that had his style, he said far and above, this was the song that if he wishes he could have recorded and played this song. And it's one of those songs that was even discussed once they toured again with David. It was one of those songs that was discussed that Eddie actually wanted to bring this one out of David's solo records and play it live, because it was so much of a Van Halen type of song. But anywho, I'm gonna shut up, dude, because
we're gonna play a lot of music.
I'm gonna say I think the more I talk, the more depressed I actually get, because I don't know, dude. But play those songs first.
We're gonna play those 3, and then we'll play some off your top 10 list there, and try.
Yeah.
I want to get a lot of music in, you know.
Yeah, you definitely got to play Sinner Swing. You got to play Ice Cream Man.
Oh yeah. I got those. Yeah, definitely.
Get Up off of 5150 is one that you got to play, because that was probably the song that they recorded with Sammy that was truly the closest to the early days as far as the guitar riffage and the massive rhythm section, and it really didn't have any of that kind of keyboardy style or anything. It was just it was those three and Sammy just going straight back to 1978 and saying, hey, if Sammy would have sung on the original record, this is what it would have sounded like.
Yeah.
But yeah, those three songs definitely are the ones I think are the top 10 that, if I had to pick any three, those would be the three that I would probably personally play. Because,
well, I think I got about 30 minutes of music loaded up here.
well, cool. Let's get to it. Obviously, just say thank you everyone for, I guess, hanging in and listening to us ramble, because, I think as time goes on, you'll probably hear us do this a lot more, because sadly, more people are going to die. And, when Ozzy finally goes, I don't think I'm going to be able to do Ozzy without crying.
Yeah, that's going to be tough, man.
Because, Ozzy has a special place in my heart, bro, that, I just, same with Roger Waters, or not Roger Waters, but David Gilmour. David's going to be somebody that, when David passes, dude, I'm not even going to be able to do a show. I'm just going to be like, you know what? Final cut, radio silence. You don't get me for 2 days, because I'm just going to spend that time going front to back on a catalog, and God knows when it comes to Pink Floyd, that's about how long it's going to take to listen to everything. So, no. But anywho,
yeah, let's get some. Let's get some music on.
All right, later, bitches.
All right, see ya. All right, here we go.
She's a little on the fringe, like she get a little friendly when the cat's away. Know a girl, she's a little on the edge, my broken little vixen, she's a wounded stray. Know a girl, she's 90 miles an hour, the kind of girl that leaves a man half blind. Know a girl, she's a poison wildflower, that little tramp, she's fucking out of her brain. She's a loaded gun, goes down like king champagne. She's a hit and run, what goes on inside that brain? Oh, yeah. She dressed so shabby chic. Oh, yeah. That flip shop Jezebel Dominique. Oh, yeah. Filled up on homemade sweet. Oh, yeah. She's a match to gasoline. That's Dominique. She's a girl that looks around the chassis. Is rich, time polished, and she's ready to go. Dirty girl, she's a patent leather classic. She's only made a living swing around the pole. Know a girl, she can get a little crazy. Her eyes shut flying on the wing of a breath. That girl waiting crouch a little daisy. A hurricane honey with a vampire stare. She's a loaded gun, goes down like cheap champagne. She's a hit and run. What goes on inside that brain? Oh, yeah. She dressed so shabby chic. Oh, yeah. That flip shop Jezebel Dominique. Oh, yeah. Filled up on homemade Oh, yeah. She's a match to gasoline and Albany. Likes the girls, likes the guys. Thick black lines around her eyes. Blazing rock or blazing nice. Gets hot days, pays the price. Never here or never there. Nobody just doesn't care. She just doesn't care. She's a loaded gun, draws down that big champagne. She's a hit and run, certified fucking insane. Oh, yeah. She dressed so shabby chic. Oh, yeah. And the shop Jezebel Dominique. Oh, yeah. Filled up on homemade tea. Oh, yeah. She's a match to gasoline. Dominique! She's a fucking freak. Dominique! Dominique! Hey girls, wanna go for a ride? Well, jump on in. Driving by the schoolyard in my brand new fancy car. Christine 16 wants to cruise the boulevard. Staved up the windows in her nasty neighborhood. Things got so crazy, had to jump out on the hood. Let's just be our secret, baby. Yeah, that's what I told her. That's what I told her. 'Cause I need it now, and I can't wait until you wrote it on the cradle. All that long. From the cradle. It feels so right, even though it's wrong. Standing by the window, staring at the second floor. She caught my eye and came knocking on my door. Beauty queen, 17, outside looking in. That's when she showed me her adolescent sin. Let's just be our secret, baby. Yeah, that's what I told her.
love that girl, love that crazy little girl. Love that girl, love that girl, love that crazy little girl. Love that girl, love that girl, love that crazy little girl. Love that girl, love that girl, love that crazy little girl. Wow! Let's just be our secret, baby. Yeah, that's what I told her. That's what I told her. I need it now. I can't wait until you roll down from the cradle. All night long, yeah. From the cradle. There's no ride, even though it's wow. Wow. From the cradle. All night long, yeah. From the cradle. There's no ride, even though it's a yeah, yeah. Lights, camera, action, there's a startup on your door. Have your machine called my machine will do lunch on the cutting floor. We're over budget, 98% not there. It was the back door, he's with the lowest rate, tells money with pressure. How does he do it? Why is he doing it? Whoa, yeah, yes, it's true. He's the flavor of the month is you. Practice, 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 just to get to Carnegie. We'll be 10%, that's all the time. Won't stand there to me. Honey, it's showtime. Just when it's time. Baby, cause it's showtime. Ow, ow, ow. Produce daddy talking me to the bar. Bigger, slip the right line and you go far. Here today, gone late today, it's club dates in the sticks. And your beautiful bed, don't never shave. No problem, face it in the bag. Just leave your name and number in the dumpster when you're through. Oh, yeah. Don't call us, we'll call you. Oscar, Grammy, triple whammy, God, that's the tape. Let's take quick for blaming. Where's my engine? Don't you know how much I make? Get it on! Oh, yeah! Baby, cause it's showtime! Woo! Yeah! Just when it's time! People, cause it's showtime! When you hear that curtain call, it's showtime. It's showtime. Just when it's baby, cause it's showtime. Let's get it on. Cause it's showtime. Just when it's It's okay, I'll do what I want if I choose. I can take the fall as a choice. It's my destiny in my hands. Yeah, it's up to me. I can drive. I can shoot a gun in the streets. Stop me, stop me, arrow. I can jump. Be a sacrifice, be the cross. Just like Jesus Christ. And I don't wanna hear what love can do. Close your eyes, get on your knees and pray. Now you'll say, by a higher voice, give it up, give it up, give it up. Your choice is wrong. Then I'll pay for it if I'm right. Then you're gonna hear about it, but I'll try. Yeah, I'll try for it. I'll try till I'm Is it right to take it easy way? I don't know. I get down on my knees and pray. Now I'm saved by a higher voice. Giving up, giving up, giving up. My choice is wrong. Hey, then I'll pay for it. Yeah, you're gonna deal with it. 'Cause I'm tired. Yeah, I'm tired for it. I'll try, give it down for it. Don't wanna hear what you do. Woo!